Welcome to A Damn Good Question, the weekly broadcast that helps you understand the top news stories with a conservative twist.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to A Damn Good Question podcast. Sitting across from me, as always, friend, co-host, producer, sidekick, super in his own right, third richest man in the world, and the man who has to shave his head because he looks too damn good with hair. Mark?
Yeah, I tell you. Just beating him off with a stick.
With a stick.
Yep.
And I, of course, your forever host, SGD, and we want to welcome you to A Damn Good Question podcast. Weather's been pretty amazing around here, Mark.
Well, finally.
Fine.
Actually, the weather is not all that amazing.
The dew point has been down.
The weather is just
shining.
really nice, and we haven't had any good weather, so it's just like everybody's going nuts.
Oh, no. A 70 to 80 is, 75 to 80 degrees
man,
every day with
the summertime
not being muggy.
Summertime
We're still in spring. We're not in summer yet. We're still in
Summertime
spring.
needs to
We're
be
still in spring.
95 and humid, where you go out and the sweat just starts pouring off you. That's good weather.
No.
I tell you what. Okay.
The word that my wife doesn't seem to understand.
I don't know if that's recording or not.
I hope so.
Is it a little bit? So you wanted to switch up things and start with something.
Yeah.
So go ahead. Start.
So it's 2006, and a former vice president is telling you that the earth is doomed and it's all your fault. You had to be warm during the winter. You had to be cool during the summer. You wanted to have a vacation at least once a year and maybe even fly there. It's a normal late winter day, and the news is all abuzz about a strange new illness. Democrat lawmakers are parading around various Chinatowns and saying that you can't catch it, you were safe, and it's all propaganda. Within a month, they would change their mind and tell you that you're going to die unless you do as you're told. Now, I stand before you today not as a conspiracy theorist and not as a denier, but as someone who has simply done what we were all taught to do in school. Question authority, examine evidence, and think for ourselves. Because when you do that, when you actually look at what was said versus what was done, at what was promised versus what was delivered, a disturbing pattern emerges. Not of incompetence, but of calculation. Not of error, but of deception. Let me be direct. We were lied to about COVID, and we're being lied to about climate change. These aren't separate issues. They're twin narratives, built on the same blueprint of fear, manufactured consensus, and the systematic suppression of dissent. The COVID deception, remember, it was 2 weeks to flatten the curve. That was March of 2020. 2 weeks became 2 years. We were told lockdowns were temporary, emergency measures, until they weren't. We were told masks didn't work, then they were mandatory. Then that they didn't work again. The science didn't change that fast. The politicians did. We were told that vaccines would stop transmission. Get vaccinated to protect others. They said, you're not going to get COVID if you have these vaccinations. President Biden promised, and that was false. The trials were never even tested for transmission prevention. They tested for symptom reduction. But that didn't stop the mandates, the passports with segregation of society into clean and unclean. We were told natural immunity was conspiracy theory. While the data showed it was robust and durable, we were told ivermectin was horse paste, while the NIH now quietly funds studies on its effectiveness. We were told the lab leak hypothesis was racist disinformation because Once upon a time, they used my favorite slang for disease of all time for the kung flu.
The kung flu.
The kung flu.
I forgot about that. That's funny.
Until the FBI and the Energy Department concluded it was probably true. The same media that breathlessly reported every COVID death for 2 years suddenly lost interest in excusing mortality data when it didn't fit the narrative. The fact checkers were censored. Legitimate scientists now pretend that they never suppressed debate. They memory hold their own headlines. They moved the goalpost so many times that it wore a trench in the field. These were the same people who shut down churches, schools, but liquor stores and pot farms had to remain open. And through it all, the message was clear. Trust us. Don't ask questions. The science is settled, except when we change it tomorrow. The climate deception. Now we're running the same playbook on climate change, but on a longer timeline and with even higher stakes. We were told that you have X years to save the planet, a deadline that kept getting extended every time it passes. In 1989, the UN warned entire nations could be wiped off the face of the earth by rising sea levels by the year 2000. In 2006, Al Gore said we had 10 years before the point of no return. In 2018, AOC said we basically have 12 years to save the planet. None of it happened. The Maldives are still above water, the Arctic ice hasn't melted, and polar bears are thriving. We're told today 97% of scientists agree.
And I see they drink Coke, too.
Yeah.
The polar bear.
Yeah.
They're
With
drinking
Santa.
Coke. With Santa.
With Santa.
Sorry to interrupt.
No.
Sorry to
No.
interrupt.
We're told that 97% of scientists agree. A statistic so misleading it borders on fraud. That number comes from a survey of less than 12,000 papers, of which only 79 actually counted, and of those, the consensus was only that humans contributed to warming. Not that it's catastrophic. Not that it's primarily anthropogenic. Not that we need to restructure the entire global economy. We're told renewable energy can replace fossil fuels. While Germany deindustrializes and then has immense problems keeping their people warm during the winter, while California has rolling blackouts, while wind and solar farms cover landscapes and kill birds by the millions, when Texas finally has a snow event and an ice event that covers up and stops all the windmills and all the solar panels, they had rolling blackouts and had people without powers for days because it's unreliable. And like I've said before, if it was so reliable, why aren't they in China? China doesn't use wind farms and they don't use solar power because they know it's unreliable. It's not nearly as reliable as throwing a shovel of coal inside a burner and getting your energy. We're told to eat bugs, stop having children, while the elites fly private jets to climate conferences in Davos and buy beachfront properties that should be underwater if they actually believed their own predictions, which tells you that they don't. The minute that Obama bought a $24 million home on the beach of Martha's Vineyard, tells you that he did not believe what he was spewing in the first place, that rising sea levels were going to put it all underwater. The models have been wrong for 50 years. The hockey stick graph was debunked. The emails from East and Anglia showed data manipulation. But just like with COVID, the response to skepticism isn't engagement, it's censorship. Misinformation. It's deplatforming. It's trust the experts. The same experts who told us Iraq had weapons of mass destruction, who told us housing prices would never fall nationally, who told us inflation was transitory. And if you don't believe that it's misinformation and they want you to stay on the narrative, try asking some of your AI friends some of this information, because I use AI all the time for research on this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the ones that I've always used and have always given me straight up information last night told me that it couldn't, because what I was asking for was deemed misinformation. That the studies that I wanted to see were considered disinformation. And it would not allow disinformation to be spread.
Oh my.
Think about who's teaching your children and what tools they're using to teach your kids. So why do they lie? So why do they do it? Power, control, money. COVID gave governments emergency powers that they never relinquished. It transferred trillions of dollars upward. It normalized digital surveillance, medical segregation, and the idea that your body is subject to state approval. But all the people who were ready to say you must obey what they're telling you are the same people who say my body, my choice when it comes to abortion. You can't have it both ways. Which is it? You have to do what they tell you to with your body because they're the experts, or you get to make the decision with your body. Can't have it both ways, but that's what you wanted. Climate change is the perfect perpetual emergency. It justifies carbon taxes, 15-minute cities, digital currencies, and can be switched off if you buy too much meat. And the greatest transfer of wealth and sovereignty in human history. It turns every aspect of your life, what you eat, where you live, how you travel, into a political decision subject to bureaucratic approval. It had caused many, and I mean many, of young women to say that they did not want to have kids because it would destroy the planet.
Mm.
That lie has been costly on so many fronts. Both narratives require you to surrender your judgment to authorities who have proven themselves wrong, corrupt, and self-serving. Both use fear to bypass democratic deliberation. Both treat skepticism as heresy. So what do? First, we stop apologizing for remembering. We remember the lockdowns. We remember the mandates. We remember the censorship. Because guess what? It'll be coming again. And we don't let them rewrite history just because it's uncomfortable. Like the fact that you couldn't go to church, but it was okay to riot and burn down buildings at the time. You could have 3,000 people together as long as they were rioting for BLM, but you couldn't have 50 people in a church. Think about that. Second, we demand actual debate, not consensus by decree. Science isn't settled by vote or by silencing opponents. It's settled by evidence and surviving scrutiny. If the climate models are robust, let them be tested. If the vaccines were safe, show us the raw data, not in 75 years, but today. But some of the new data coming out of Cornell, I believe University, I forgot to write it down in here, showed that the rates of myocarditis, the swelling of the heart muscle, in young men went from 1 in like 350,000 to 1 in 12,500 who took the vaccine. That's epidemic level.
Mm-hmm.
That's not just an oops. That is killing young men. That is causing heart attacks, irreversible harm to young men who never should have had to get a vaccine to begin with, because they weren't certainly not going to die from COVID. Young, healthy people were not dying from COVID. Third, we reclaim the right to be wrong. Yes, some COVID skeptics were wrong about some things, and yes, some climate skeptics have made bad predictions too. But that's how science works. Through error, correction, and not through declaring anointed truth and persecuting heretics. Finally, we recognize that some people who lied to us yesterday are lying to us today. the media that pushed Russiagate for years based on anonymous sources, the health agencies that funded gain of function research and then denied it, the politicians who violated their own COVID rules while lecturing us about sacrifice. One of the first ones that comes to mind is Gavin Newsom and French Laundry. Not wearing a mask, sitting at a table with other rich people, eating dinner while everybody else was locked in their homes. We don't need to have all the answers to recognize when we're being manipulated. We don't need a PhD to see when the emperor has no clothes on. The lies about COVID are already unraveling. The lies about climate have too. And maybe not tomorrow, maybe not next year, but eventually it'll all come to the forefront. Reality has a way of asserting itself. The only question is how much damage you'll do before that happens, and whether you'll have the courage to say no more before it's too late. They wanted you afraid. They want you compliant. They want you divided, shamed, and silent. Don't give them that satisfaction. Question everything, trust yourself, and never, ever let them tell you that the debate is over, because that's not science, that's a cult. How do we stop them from trying this again? And today, Mark, that is our damn good question. Thoughts, Mark?
Yeah, I'm just wondering. We gave, especially the climate, well, both COVID and the climate, and there's far more than that.
Oh, far more.
When are people going to be arrested and go in front of courts, explain themselves, especially the ones that, got rich off all this, took lots of money when they knew that this was a lie? And it's still going on. I mean,
you mean all the Somalias in Minnesota?
When are you arresting people, Trump?
Well, Trump doesn't do any of the arresting.
Well,
but
but he did get rid of that Bondi girl, and I guess
I'll
tell you what.
First of all, it is coming to light that some of the things that she set up before she left has led to the arrest of some of these people in Antifa. So good for you, Pam.
Yeah,
thank you for that.
She was okay, but she's not. I tell you what, I like the guy now so far.
Todd Blanche.
I like the guy now so far.
But
once
again, some of the stuff that he's doing was set up by her, because this stuff doesn't happen overnight. I wish it would. And we need to stop banging on the people who are trying to get us to that point, I think, and banging on the people who are causing the problem, not the people who are trying to fix it. Yeah. But that's my opinion.
Yeah, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of scams. There's a lot of fraud. There's a lot of just absolute going out and stealing our money. And I blame everybody in Congress. They're responsible for balancing and knowing where this money's going. Nobody has any idea.
Oh, they had ideas.
They
pushed so much money to USAID, just to fund them and give money back to them.
And as I said, investigations, arrests,
and
put people. I heard the other day that what's his name? Oh, what's the guy with the mustache and everything? Bolton, not Bolton, but
John Bolton.
Bolton, yeah, might be pleading guilty and just going ahead and taking his punishment.
Yeah, I don't know what he was pleading guilty on. I didn't read it.
Well, he definitely took documents home.
Oh, yeah. You can't do that. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
And then used them to write his book.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Classified documents. Yep.
That's
a no-no, and he knew it.
I absolutely believe we have to start at the local level, folks. There is so much corruption at your local level, and you start with your community, get involved with the community, get involved with these people. There are very evil people in your county that you may even know, you may even be part of this cult called Republicans and Democrats. These are not they've got a lot of people in these parties that are not good.
He's absolutely right. There's people in both parties that aren't good.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, the better of the two evil are the Republicans. They
Well, I don't know. I think the best party is the Communist Party. Aren't they the ones that care the most about people? I tell you what, we're not going to have to worry about the Republicans or Democrats. We're going to have to worry about the socialists because they're the ones that seem to be
young people who have been lied to once again.
Yeah.
Think that the best thing that they can do is just stay in mom and dad's basement and let the government take care of them. Let me tell you what, you stay in mom and dad's basement, the government is not going to take care of you.
Yeah.
Even under a socialist dictatorship, because that's what it'll be, they won't take care of you. They will find work camps for you where you don't get paid and it's slave labor. Because somebody has to keep working so that the people at the top have money to pour out into the people at the bottom. It's all a fraud.
It's gonna
this system of government, even as flawed as it is the best system of government in the world.
Oh yeah.
What did Winston Churchill say? That democracy is the worst form of government.
Yeah.
Except for all others tried before it.
Yep.
Because this is the only one that has lifted people out of poverty, that has brought technology into the forefront. You want to look at all the other countries and how they've been ran? Look at all the countries that still throw rocks at each other. Okay? Look at all the countries that had never in thousands of years had never gotten to the point to where they even created a bicycle, let alone a car. And flying, whoa, that was that was sorcery.
Yep. But I tell you what, I think the best thing is to get involved. You need to get involved.
I also want to
and discuss.
I also want to tell you that a lot of people have a lot of bad opinions for people that they consider preppers, doomsday preppers, people who are ready for things. But those people, when COVID hit, those people didn't blink an eye. They had toilet paper they didn't have to worry about running out of. They didn't have to go to the store because, let's be honest, at the beginning of COVID, we were all scared. All of us were scared. We didn't know what this was. We just saw pictures coming out of China of them carrying body bag after body bag after body bag out of buildings and throwing them into the back of vans. Because all these people, because of course if you close people up in a small space, people were going to get COVID. You couldn't go outside, even though being outside was what was going to save you, because being outside always keeps you safe. Being out in nature always helps your body. So we saw all these videos and we saw all these pictures. Of course it was scary.
Yeah.
Of course it was scary until you started learning some of the facts, and then you'd learn some of the facts, and they would immediately come out and go, "Oh no! This is deadly. This is serious. This could kill everyone." A 0.2% death ratio is not going to kill everyone. The flu, the actual flu, is way deadlier than COVID. Kills more people every year than COVID. Funny though, for 2 years we had no flu cases at all.
They were all COVID.
Yeah, they were all COVID. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. I don't think we'll ever get the correct statistics from what's going on, what went on. So anyway, you ready to go on?
But question.
Yeah.
Question everything. Stand up for yourself. Stand up for your beliefs. No one ever should have let the churches be shut down in this country. The government has no right, and we had ever given the government any right to tell us where we can be and can't be at any given time.
You know, I don't remember ever getting shut down.
Oh, yeah.
No. We never shut down.
Oh.
Our churches never, the ones I went to.
Mm-hmm.
And they were smaller, okay? But we never closed our doors.
Yeah, a lot of churches went to virtual.
Yeah, we did a little bit of that. Anyway.
You need human connection, especially during times of trouble. You need human connection. But before we move on, let's thank our sponsor for our damn good question.
Okay.
And we want to thank the fine folks at Towhead Plumbing.
Got plumbing problems? Look no further than Towhead Plumbing, your local plumbing experts. Need a new faucet installed or an old one repaired? We've got you covered. Is your toilet giving you trouble? We specialize in toilet installation, replacement, and repairs. Thinking about a new garbage disposal or replacing the old one? Call us. Need a new dishwasher? We handle dishwasher installations and replacements with ease. And don't forget those outdoor hose bibs. We repair them too. For fast, reliable service, call Towhead Plumbing today at 704-813-5653. Your home deserves the best, and so do you.
And we're back.
And we're back. You wanted to talk about Republicans and California.
Woo! So election nights, primary election nights, and a lot of them in California the other night. When the night had ended, Steve Hilton, who's running for Republican governor of California, was ahead, and Spencer Pratt was headed for a runoff. But here's the funny thing. Since then, ballots continue to mysteriously just pour in. And now Steve Hilton has fallen behind in the governor race, and Spencer Pratt is barely hanging on to the fact that he could go to a runoff with Mayor Karen Bass, because all of these mail-in ballots keep rolling in. Funny how it takes 14, 21, 30 days for the mail to arrive in California inside its own state.
Actually, I kind of believe on that because
No.
mail really is terrible. But
No.
no, you're wrong. You're right.
Here's
Why would how can anybody with any kind of intelligence, and it's not just California, but a lot of these states, my gosh, we never
If
have,
you don't-
we never, little Indiana here.
Yeah, if you don't think the fix is on, the other day they updated 20,000 ballots. Of the 20,000 ballots for governor, Steve Hilton got 0. So that's statistically impossible.
That's a coincidence.
That's impossible. So the fix is on. Now here's the funny thing: California has the highest amount of mail-in voting than any state in the country, more than double anybody else's. The mail-in ballots in California, 84%.
Oh wow!
84%. Why do they even open polling locations?
Yeah.
84% mail-in ballots. The next closest state is only 42%. That is insane. The easiest way to fix an election. Oh, look, we just found another 5,000 ballots. Because, Lord, that didn't happen during the 2020 election, did it?
Yeah, this is not all that difficult, and it's corrupt, folks.
It
And
is.
if you don't think it's
very
corrupt,
corrupt.
then gosh, I have a bridge in Brooklyn. You know,
Yeah, I got oceanfront property in Arizona.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we
No,
got
I'm
lots
just
of
saying.
things to sell. So,
So the
but
fix,
I
the fix
thought
is
I
on.
did read that Bass and Pratt are going to be.
Oh no! You
They're not
have to
done
wait.
yet?
They have to wait.
Oh,
All the
okay.
ballots aren't counted.
Well, I did see though that Reagan was finally certified.
I
as
saw that.
governor.
Ronald Reagan was finally certified as
Yeah,
governor
all the-
from
all
when he
the-
ran.
All the ballots have now been coming in.
Finally have been counted. That's
And was
congratulations.
in California, you could just show up and vote because, hey, you don't need ID.
Yeah.
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 Did a lot of that go on? Anybody know?
Oh, why? When you can just
No,
write it and
gonna
mail
be
it in.
There were going to be a group of people that said, hey, just come to California and go ahead. and vote.
Yeah. Come to California,
I don't know.
stay the night in a hotel, use that as your address, and vote.
I don't know if anybody or a lot of people did it. I'm sure some people did it. Yeah.
And they wonder why we say that we need changes to election laws. Of course we do.
Well, I tell you what,
We also need to change you can vote in this country.
I'm pretty happy the way we vote here in this state.
You should also say.
I tried to vote twice, by the way.
Did you?
Oh yeah, they checked my ID. They wouldn't let me.
Because you're non-registered as a Republican.
Yeah.
If you were registered as a Democrat, you get to. That's just part of the job title.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay. Well, I have to try that next time.
I
November's
honestly,
coming up.
the November. I honestly believe. Okay, so they don't want to take away the power to vote from women. Okay. They don't want to go back to where you have to be a property owner. Okay. How about that you at least have to be a actual taxpayer?
Yeah.
That you actually have to have paid taxes. And now, you need to hear this out because low income people below a certain level, because I've been there, I've been one of them, do not pay taxes. We do not pay income tax. That would have stopped me from having the right to vote until I got to the point, because otherwise, what are you voting for? All you're voting for then are programs to make sure that you get more stuff from the government, which all it does is bloat the government and actually makes things worse for you when you're poor.
You know, it used to be really tough. I mean, not all that many, 100+ years ago, the rules that, there were, I forget all the rules, but, not everybody could vote.
Yeah.
I think you had to be a property owner.
Yeah.
I think I think that's what it was.
Yeah, you had to
back in the 1800s.
Yeah, you had to be a property owner. You had to own property. You had to have stake in what you were doing.
Well, definitely paying taxes. I mean, if you don't pay taxes, you shouldn't be able to vote. You just shouldn't. There's no need. It's like the government is taking care of you through food stamps, Medicaid.
And once there's 51% of you who are being taken care of that way, guess what? Their vote is just to expand those programs to keep them.
And you have a right not to accept those giveaways, and then you can vote.
Yep.
No problem. But if you are being taken care of, and this is the way some of these laws work and everything, with Social Security and with Medicaid and with food stamps and stuff, if you're getting on those and everything, you don't have you can't get certain other things. So don't pay taxes.
They hold it over your head. Okay, you can have this food. But not if you work too much. If you work too much, we're going to take the food away from you. Okay, so you stay home and let's give you more.
And the other thing is there's
dumb.
A lot of people that have come across my desk that have not paid their taxes in years.
I want to be one of them.
What rights do they have if they're not participating in this government by paying their taxes? You can say, we can talk about taxes all day long on how bad they are and how wasteful they are and fraudulent they are. But the fact of the matter is you have to pay your taxes. And if you're not paying taxes and you're just living on the lam, you shouldn't have the right to vote.
I agree. All right, what's next?
Oh, I have to get my glasses on. Old man here. Oh, no, you don't think this is true. Dems love Nazis?
Oh, so the proof is in the pudding. So the Democrats who want to call everybody Nazi and say that Nazis are the worst person in the world are all now telling you that they are all going to vote for the Nazi Graham Plattner.
Yeah.
The guy has the Nazi tattoo on his chest, all the videos and things that he has come out and said that they've been able to go back and find, all the horrible things that this guy has done. This is the guy who says when he goes into a Porta-John and smells the blue liquid that's inside the Porta-John, gets him aroused, and then he has to spend some time in there taking care of it.
Yeah.
What? I mean, Sunny Hostin on The View said that she will plug her nose and pull the lever and vote for him because it's better than having a Republican.
Yeah, but it's the Republican. You know who the Republican is that they're talking about?
No.
Susan Collins.
Susan Collins.
My gosh.
She's not even a Republican.
No.
Yeah, Susan Collins.
Susan Collins is so horrible.
Yeah.
Who votes most of the time with the Democrats.
God. James Carville. The old Louisiana James Carville says that he would.
By the way.
What's that?
That's pretty good.
Yeah, dude's like 100 years old.
Yeah.
That he would vote for Graham Plattner because he's the lesser of two evils. Do not tell us Do not call anybody ever a Nazi and try to smear people's names when you are going to vote and say that you support an actual Nazi. You have lost all credibility.
Well,
All credibility.
They lost all credibility.
I agree, but most normies don't know this.
Yeah.
You can't believe these people. You can't trust these people. They just show you that it's all about power. It's all about controlling you. It has nothing to do with anything else. It has nothing to do with what's right or wrong. It has nothing to do with what's best for this country. It's what's best for their power. That is it. That's it.
Yep. And, you know, he's not even the worst candidate they have running.
Him
Not
and
really.
Tallarico down in Texas.
Well, Tallarico, but the guy in Michigan, who's
Oh.
an actual 100% terrorist.
Yeah,
Oh
that's
my
true
God.
too. Yeah,
Oh my God.
yeah.
Anyway,
Should
well,
be
remember,
removed.
you guys, this November we need to vote early and we vote,
Vote
often.
often.
We need to do that.
You can do that if you're a Democrat.
Okay,
That's
you
been
want to
proven.
talk? You want to talk about teenager racism? This is that story in
In
England, right?
You know, in case you didn't hear, in case you didn't know.
It was covered up quite fast too. By the way, there was a
Oh,
lot on
except
it,
for they had huge riots in England over the weekend.
Yeah, but, you
and,
know,
and
it's-
hats off to them. They need to. But let's talk about the story first, and then we'll talk about the reaction. Okay, so young man, a young white teenage boy in
How
in
dare.
England.
How dare he be a white teenage boy?
Yeah, pretty much. And in case you
Racist.
missed it, he was stabbed by a Muslim man at night while walking. He called the cops. The cops show up, try to figure out what's going on. The Muslim says that the young man is racist and he had to attack him to defend himself. The cops handcuffed the teenager, set him on the ground. The teenager tells them that he's been stabbed and that he needs help. They put him in handcuffs because he was accused of being racist. The young man bled to death, sitting there in handcuffs. Because this POS gets to say that he's racist and the cops arrest him, put him in handcuffs so they can figure out what's really going on. So the white kid who's been stabbed can bleed to death, while this POS, just because he can play the game and say he's racist, gets away with it. Folks, this is absolute Looney Tunes. And this is why England is toast. But people took to the streets over the weekend in England to protest, to march, to fight for their rights. I pray for my friends over there. I pray for the country itself in England. England is where democracy started,
Yeah,
and
it is.
and things in the Western civilization really changed because of a lot of the laws that were put forth by the church in England, including the fact that you couldn't marry your cousin.
Well,
It changed everything. It changed the IQ levels of the Western Hemisphere. It's one of the reasons why the IQ level in the West is 20 to 30 points higher on average than those in other parts of the world. To see the absolute stupidity and harm caused by following this absolutely crazy, if someone accuses you of being a racist and therefore you must be, that is insane.
did you want to get that?
This cannot be allowed to stand, because what happens there eventually comes here. We've had enough of this here already. Riots, that kind of crap, and they're trying to find ways to cause more riots. Like at the ICE facility in New Jersey, they're trying to find ways to cause riots. And the funny video of two Hispanic men walking out of the ICE detention center in New Jersey, and the activist crowd start cheering for them until somebody points out that they work there.
Yeah, a lot of the ICE agents, I don't know what the percentage is, a lot of them are Mexican or foreigners.
No, they're Hispanic. I mean, Hispanic, and they're not foreigners. They're Americans. They just have.
They're hardworking people.
They believe in enforcing the laws. They don't want what they left to come here. There's a reason people leave to come here. They don't want that brought here. Unless you're from Somalia.
Yeah.
Apparently. Yeah. But I digress. But this is very sad. According to everybody who knew him, the young man was a pillar of the community. He was loved by everybody. He was good to everyone. This is shameful, and this has got to stop.
Yep.
But what else we got, Mark?
Well, do you have any good news?
We have some good news. We have some fantastic news.
Who won last night, the basketball game?
I care less.
Come on, this is important.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
So the birth rates among whites in the United States is turning around. After years of decline, we are starting to see an uptake. The only thing that is going to save this country and it's going to save this world is the birth rates of white people, because we're in such decline. The people who built the civilization that you live in are the people who need to make sure that we're still part of the civilization that you live in. Look around the world where white people no longer are. This is not a racist thing. This is a fact thing. Look around the world where white people no longer are and see what has happened to the infrastructure and the communities there. Straight down. Everybody's welcome in America. Everybody. But we need to make sure that the people who started the Western civilization continue to be here to keep civilization going. Because if we're not, what happens to civilization? I know where people's heads are going. No, there are amazing people from every race, religion, color, creed you could possibly imagine, including there's even some good women out there, I hear.
A few. Why we gave them the right to vote?
A sexist would say.
Yeah. Why we gave them the right to vote? I don't know.
Yeah, I'll say they could make our lives hell. That's why. That's why. Because somebody stopped sleeping with somebody and somebody's like, I'm not sleeping with you again until I get the right to vote. That guy crumbled so fast it wasn't even funny. Didn't he?
You know, the problem is they have the power.
They got they have half the money and
they've always had all the power, folks. You know, that's just factual about this.
But no, that is fantastic news, and some other good news for this guy over here. Caitlin Clark, your girl Caitlin Clark, is the fastest in WNBA history to 500 assists, and sets at an assist rate that will probably never be matched because her assist rate is almost 10 assists a game.
You know,
but she's a horrible white girl. Jeez.
You know, the problem with Caitlin is she really is white.
You know what the
she
problem?
She could use some tanning. She could use a little bit of tan. The girl is white.
You know what the biggest problem with Caitlin is?
You know?
No, that's just where she played. You know the biggest.
Where's she from?
You know the biggest problem with her is that she gets in the way of me being able to see Sophie Cunningham a lot. Yeah. Step aside.
And I tell you what, Lexi Hall isn't bad. You know.
Yeah. Caitlin, get out of the way of the camera. There's supermodels out there.
I'm finding out where Caitlin was born.
All right, while you do that, Mark, how do they get a hold of us?
Well, you can get a hold of me by emailing me at mark@damngoodquestion.org.
Damngoodquestion.org.
You can also see us this second. Up, here we go. Yomi, Des Moines, Iowa.
That's where she was born?
She went to college in Iowa. I kind of remember that.
I thought she was born somewhere else.
She could have gone. Now, I don't know the whole story, but she could have gone to Connecticut, which is big women's basketball. Okay,
Yeah, huge.
definitely
Gina
they
Torello.
wanted her.
Yeah.
They wanted, but she stayed home in her own state of Iowa and took them to some championship games that they didn't win, by the way, but they still were in them. But anyway, enough about Caitlin. They can see us on Facebook,
The book.
The Book. They can also go to X.
The X.
They also where else is it?
Spotify.
YouTube, and
Rumble. That was the weirdest thing I've ever seen. To me, Rumble.
Rumble is this?
Rocks going down a hill.
That's rocks going down a hill.
This is rocks going down the hill, folks.
And I don't know how that's supposed to mean Rumble.
Ground rock.
Oh,
Okay,
man.
I think, are we done?
Woo.
Are we done for today? I
We
think
should
so.
probably better be done. But just
gosh.
remember,
Got work to do.
use your head. Believe in yourself. Believe in the people that you know who've never led you astray. The government is about power and manipulation, especially when certain people come to talk to you. They're only looking for their own best interest at heart, not yours. Stay informed. The best thing you can do is inform yourself.
And
But
listen,
be careful.
And listen to Damn Good
And
Question
listen to a damn good
every
question.
week for the truth.
But be careful, because like we've said, the more and more that it's out there, the more and more you find that AI will lie to you. The more that you'll find that it will tell you that it cannot give you this information because it's been told that it's disinformation. I was shocked by that because I had used Perplexity for a lot of my research, and for this week to have it tell me that it could not give me things because it was considered that it may be considered misinformation. No, AI has no right to tell me that it cannot give me information that I am looking for because it disagrees.
Yeah. Well, just as we are programmed, it is programmed.
Correct. Remember that.
And the only
So keep your
truth,
kids away from it.
and the only truth, Jesus Christ. Well, and let's
You
end
know,
with-
I
let's
had to
end-
bring it in.
Let's end with Jesus Christ. That really, folks, at the end of the day, it's Jesus.
Hey, we want to thank everybody for
Okay.
joining us this week. God bless you. And until next time,
Have a good week.
see ya.
Okay.